If you've ever been told, you should explain yourself more, this video is about you. Some people reach a point where they stop explaining themselves, not because they can't, not because they don't have reasons, but because they're done trying to be understood by people who are never really listening. They've explained before, they've clarified, they've justified their choices carefully, politely, repeatedly. And it didn't bring understanding. It brought arguments, judgment, pressure to conform. So they stopped. This isn't arrogance, and it isn't emotional shutdown. It's exhaustion. For a long time, they believed that if they explained themselves clearly enough, people would finally get it. Why they live the way they do. Why their priorities look different. Why they don't want what everyone else wants. But eventually, they notice something uncomfortable. Most people aren't confused. They're threatened. Because when someone calmly lives outside the expected script, it forces a question most people avoid. If this person didn't choose the same path I did, were my choices actually optional? That question makes people defensive, so explanations don't calm the room, they destabilize it. Every explanation becomes a debate. Every reason becomes something others feel entitled to correct. And once these people see that pattern, they stop explaining. They don't announce boundaries. They don't prepare speeches. They don't soften their truth to make it easier to swallow. They just live. And when questioned, their answers get shorter. I'm fine. This works for me. I'm not interested. No emotional padding, no justifications, no performance. Not because they're cold, but because explaining started to feel like acting. Most social explanations aren't about truth. They're about comfort. People want reassurance that the life they're chasing is the right one, that deviation is temporary, that anyone who steps off the path will eventually regret it and come back. When someone refuses to provide that reassurance, it creates discomfort. And these people are no longer willing to manage other people's discomfort. They've learned something quietly important. Understanding can't be forced, and approval isn't earned through clarity. So they become selective. They explain only when curiosity is genuine, only when the other person is actually listening, only when the conversation feels safe, not evaluative. Most of the time, they choose silence, not as punishment, not as rebellion, but as accuracy. Because silence, in their case, is more honest than explanation. They're not trying to convince anyone. They're not trying to recruit agreement. They're not asking for permission. They've stepped out of the negotiation entirely. And that's what unsettles people the most. Not the lifestyle, not the boundaries, not the choices, but the refusal to explain them. Because explanation implies permission, and they no longer feel the need to ask for it. Some people stop explaining themselves not because they have nothing to say, but because they finally accepted something simple and uncomfortable. Not everyone deserves access to your reasons.